first session on what subject? Strategic management. Good. Students probably would have seen the weightage of the subject. Can you just update me? Like, what are the two subjects you have in combination? FM, which is for E, and SM for 50. Okay, good. I think FM long back probably would have started, and you would have at the edge of completion also. So R's entry is a late entry, but don't worry, late entry and small entry, right? Small entry and the journey also will take very small time. So it doesn't mean that I'll just finish up in 5 or 10 minutes. I'll not leave you till the end. Don't worry, because once we have landed, see, once you get into the bus, it has to go to some destination, right? So that's a motivation what we start with. First thing, maybe let me not scare you. Subject is very easy, but most of these advertisements, they put a small star mark, right? What do they write in between? Conditions apply, terms and conditions apply. Here also the subject is very easy, silly, you can pass, but conditions. What are those conditions? Not great, very simple. Maybe the complete journey. Have you seen how many units does it has? 5 units. Good. So why am I asking you silly questions? Is there's a sense in that nonsense what I'm talking. Why? Before you eat, students, you look at the dish, what is in store for you, right? Will you just eat whatever is in your way? No. So the basic questions I'm asking you is, first of all, you should know what is in store for you. So here it's all about 5 units. Approximately how much weightage do we give to each one of them? 10% of them. So 5, approximately, maximum I may need 4 classes. 5 4s are 20. And some units will take only 2 classes, some unit take 5 classes, and an average, maximum 4 classes, and an average. So I'll not bother you more than 20 classes, right? 20 hours if you invest. I don't know how many hours you invested for FM, but here only 20 hours will get us 50. Getting 50 out of 50 also is very problem. Why? I'll tell you. Unfortunately, I'm an examiner for this paper. Last 20 plus years. For you, you are very lucky. Out of 100, if you get 40, you are pass. For the examiner, minimum we need to score 75%. They give us only 3 attempts. Either you are in or out, get out. That's it. So we need to be doubly cautious than you. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's great and all. The subject by itself is very simple, very easy. But you need to know what to study and what not. And very interesting thing is, not only about learning, reproduction of the concept. So what happens is, what happens is, when you are rewriting this concept again, what are the important areas we need? That if you know, I think your job is, there's something called as, like, what do we teach in this coaching? Optimization. Optimization is all about maximum utilization of available resources. So how best we invest less time, learn better, and crack good marks. That sounds. But I have one more personal concept from my side. All these years, there's a small condition for attending my class. The entry is only once the class. Because, I want all those students who enter into the class, they should enter with confidence and they should have that intention that I'll crack this exam at any cost. I just want only go-getters, not the fellow who just comes in, shows his face, attendance. This is not a class where we are bothered for attendance. First attempt with blasting colors. That too, I want the fellows to crack good marks in this subject. And it's very difficult. Personally, at my level, I feel it will be very difficult to fail in this. Really, you have to put a lot of efforts to fail, right? FM, I know it takes certain numericals and concepts. It goes in a long way, but just to ease in your process of clearing the paper, they have introduced strategic. Okay, so don't worry, I'm there with you. The only requirement from your side is I need your 20 hours of patience. If you're physically present in the class, mentally also, but physically if you are there, some concept you can leave your bag comfortably. So at least that will make your attentiveness. I know some of these concepts would be a wildcard entry, management concepts, which I have to take you from the basics, because if I make you to learn ABC, you'll start making the words. Words and words will become sentence. Sentence will become paragraphs. From there, you'll be on your own. So, progressively, from the first class to second class to third class, find a lot of transition. The concept here, technical terminology, what is important. Most of the students, they have a myth. No, it's very subject. No, I can study on my own. You can do that. You had that intention. Any subjects for its matter, it's all self-learning only. Why did you come to coaching? It's just to optimize your, right? I think, I don't know, in the same classes, you would have created n number of CAs, CMAs. Yes. So today, I think, it's a good beginning for us to go ahead with what I'll do. First of all, we'll start from the basics to understand what is management. So students, maybe I'll give you material also, but first this basics you need to understand. Okay. Anyhow, the moral of the story, we have to go through this material at any cost. Our major stress should be on this. Maybe in a course of time I'll tell you why, but somewhere you have to bear with us, because I just cannot, it's not like a dustbin where I open and put the dust and close it. Your brain is not like that. It is customized to learn in a sequential manner. So first let us go ahead with the concept of management. Slowly, then we'll talk about business environment, then we'll talk about strategy, and from there our journey will. Okay. First of all, students, what do you mean by management? Any one of you, whatever you know. And you can open your running notes. Preferably, if you have a separate notes, I would really love. Let us not have a all-in-one, because there will be a day to discriminate between them becomes very difficult, right? So let us start. The first terminology. Of course, it even has introduction in our first unit. Introduction to SM. We'll even talk about the concept of management. But that fellow has done a lot of injustice. Only in one paragraph, he summarizes everything. Very difficult, right? Okay. First of all, let me ask you, what is management? What is management? Whatever you know. What do you feel is all management all about? Let me tell you. You might be wondering, this fellow has not even started asking questions, because I wanted to see what level you know. From there, I can carry on. See, management subject which is not taught in the classes like. Then you may ask a question, why are we here then? The concept which has to be learned. Learn from where? Practicality. So today what you do, just go back home, ask your Google uncle about the definition of the word management. I'm pretty sure students get millions, trillions of the definitions on the word management. Why? One particular concept should have only one definition, one concept. Why so many? Because I said management is a subject which is not taught in the class. It has to be caught from practicality of the life. The practical experiences, what people experience in their life, they make it in a systematic manner. They use a word called rationality. Students, what do you mean by rationality? Something which is judicious, something which is logical, something which is sequential, something which is in an orderly manner. We call it as rationality. So as long as you feel that there is some sense in that nonsense what you're talking, that precisely become a definition of the word manage. Because there are few guys, maybe you might be wondering when I call up their names, Mr. Drucker, might be wondering who is this uncle Karke. He's the one very frequently will be talking about the management guru again. Simply said, management is all about decision making process. That's it. Decision orientation becomes one of the concepts. There's a person called Frederick Winslow Taylor. This management is all about knowing what the customer wants and then do it in a best and cheapest manner. Means it talks about optimizing, production orientation. See, there's a person called Henry Fayol. I'll be talking about this guy again. He says management is all about planning, organizing, staffing and all this. There are three definitions which I talked about. Somebody says decision making is management. Somebody says, optimizing is management. Somebody says functions are management. But every definition again has certain rationality. That is where, so long as you are able to create some sense, some meaning in it, the concept of the definition of the word management can be precisely defined. Otherwise also, if you see, in the spelling itself you have an answer. Did you ever thought of it? Can you tell me how the meaning can be made from this spelling itself? See, I'll show you. Manage, when tactfully, management. Manage men together is management. Manage men in time, management. But girls are disappointed. There are only two boys and then sir is talking only about men, not a partiality. Here man talks about manpower. So you are also included. So a question arises, sir, why are we managing men or manpower? I'll come back to it. I'll explore it further. But before to that, let us academically go ahead with a technical definition of the word management. Okay, from here onwards you can open the book. First write down, management is all about conversion of inputs to output. And management is all about conversion of inputs to management is all about conversion of input to output. Okay, just see students, management is all about conversion of these inputs to output. Okay, what are the inputs of a company? What would be an inputs for any company? Are you have to bear with me, this automatically gets erased. Okay, inputs are basically called as resources. Our students, you can call them as M's of management. Can you tell me what are these M's? Anyone? Yeah. What could be the M's of management? Okay, before to that, very important. Just now we talked about manpower. Okay, money is also very important. Next, all those which starts with M. Material, raw material, good. Machinery, wonderful. That's all got exhausted. What else? Management, anyhow it will be. Managing of all this is management. Anything else? We're stretching our little brains, no? Yeah. Manpower, money, material, machinery, then okay, let us make it very simple. I'll try to get the answer from you. If I want to start a company, first of all, I should have manpower, money, material, machinery, then what? then I should know the techniques of doing it. Method. Good. Then with all, I should know something about it. Information. Information is called as matter. Then I should be having time. Net. Right? And after making, I should have a place to buy and sell. Market. Etc. What are all these? They're called as M's of management or resources of management, inputs of management. Okay. Now a question arises. As he said, management. Yes, to manage all these M's, management is required. But my question is, why are we managing these resources at all? Don't say to produce output. Even I know you know. But I want some rational answer. Why are we managing all this? What if we don't manage? Everywhere, see, everywhere everybody is managing, right? Somebody is managing not to come, somebody is managing to come, somebody is coming and posing as if they are listening, somebody is listening carefully, but everywhere managing, right? Management is an universal force. I'll come back to it later, but first of all, answer a question. What if I don't manage? All this resource will remain as a resource, will never transform into surplus, never transform into value, never transform into benefit. So what do? We need to manage them well. For example, we are managing money to produce more money. We are managing material to produce goods and services. Understood? So to create certain surplus, to create certain value, all these resources have to be managed. If you don't manage, the resource will remain as it is. They remain idle. So management is required. And whenever you are managing, now this building is constructed with many bricks. Each of this brick I refer to as goals. Management is constructed with goals. Can you tell me what is a goal? No, it is not written on the brick. Okay. Can you tell me what is a goal? Goal is a purpose. Goal is a purpose of any organization for its existence. Write down, students. What is a goal? Purpose of any organization for its existence. Purpose of any organization for its existence. Purpose of any organization for its existence. Students, here I have used one word called organization, right? Can you tell me what is an organization? Okay, write down. When two or more resources are pooled up, when two or more resources are pooled up to achieve a common goal, we call it as organization. For example, just see, there are so many benches in the class. Now, let us assume people are shifting. They want to vacate this hall. Let us say approximately there will be 40 benches. I say, can you help me to shift all this in 10 minutes? He'll say, sir, there are 40 benches. Even approximately if I take one minute, it will take 40 minutes for me. Do one thing, sir. Give me one more guy. We'll do it in 20 minutes. Give me one more guy. So as the number is increasing, the time will get reduced. So here what are we doing? We are adding +1, +1, +1. This process of adding, we use a word called synergy or synergy. What do you mean by synergy or synergy now? The process of synthesizing or adding the energies together. Write down. What is synergy or synergy? It's a process of synthesizing or adding the energies together. We call it as synergy or synergy. When I said organization, it is pooling up of resources. So organizing is a process of synergy. Understood? So there can be a true or false question here, right? Sometime, be careful. Justification. So here, students, one thing you should remember. When I am referring to the concept of goals, I have used a word called organization. But when I defined organization, I said to achieve a common goal. A simple example. Organization, when I say, it's a collection of individuals, 2 or more resources, manpower resources. Now let us take a small example of a class. There are 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, there are so many students. A question arises, why all of you are here? There is a purpose. So when people meet together, there is a purpose. Why am I teaching this subject here? There is a purpose. Why is this institute running this program? There is a purpose. Without a purpose, there is no organization at all. Have you understood? So the basic purpose of any organization for its existence is goal. And why are we referring to the goals now? Goals are laid down to make management. So basic building block of management are. Have you understood this? Okay. Now let me go. So students, these are all the resources. There is a goal that we need to convert them or transform them. That transformation, we call it as process. So what do you make finally? Goods, which are also called as products. We make services. We make satisfaction. We make value. We make experiences. We make goodwill. You can write a book on it, etc., etc. This is what as an output we make. Now, let me ask you one more question. It will tell whether you have understood the concept or not. Does every company uses all these resources? First question. Yes. All of them they use. But all of them will not give value to all the resources in a similar manner. Agreed or not? Agreed. How and why? Yeah. You're talking about 2 organizations. One is pharma company. Other, let us say, educational institution. Now you tell me, irrespective of whatever it is, out of these resources, one resource is very, very important resource. Can you tell me what is it? Don't tell me money. Yeah. No. Manpower. It's only a stone directly it has hit. No? Okay. If I give you a chance to categorize the resources into 2 types, how will you categorize? Just draw a line like this. Resource with life, resource without life. In the word of management also, students, let me come back here to the spelling. One minute, let me. So in this spelling, what do you do? In this spelling, I'll remove this E and T. Okay, last 3 words. Let me tell you why this manpower resource is very, very important. I'm recategorizing it. Man, A, them. In the word of management itself, it says the importance of manpower. Why? Other resources are lifeless resources. You can pull it, push it in any manner, whatever you want. Can you pull a human like that? No. It's more complicated. And there's a person called Peter Drucker. He said, take back all the resources of a company. Just leave me one resource called human resource or manpower resource. I will rebuild the system. What do you understand by this quote, students? Manpower resource has so much of ability and capability of managing all other resources. Manpower resource is like a god. He is a creator. Creator of what? All other resources. Understood? So, today, even in the spelling of management word, it is telling us so much to learn that the importance has to be given to this. Okay. Now, sorry. When I said we have companies broadly categorized into product-based companies, service-based companies, right? So, product-based companies, most of tangibility factor is there because products are tangible, services are intangible. Wherever it is tangibilized concept, managing evidence is very easy because you can see, you can watch, you can do that. But services, most of the services goes ahead with trust and confidence and belief, because unless until you experience service, you cannot judge it, you cannot evaluate it. So most of the services, they go ahead with trust and confidence. So what is more important? Remember, services industry is more labor intensive. Labor intensive means more importance to manpower. You may ask a question, sir, don't you think that production is not? Production is also important, but in production, the concept of the other tangible factors like material, manpower, machinery, all these are important. But in most of these cases, services industry, they are labor intensive. And you know, there's a myth also that they are labor intensive and less productive, but we are not going to touch on those aspects. Okay, students. Now, let us assume one thing we have learned, that all these resources are important for every organization, but the orientation of it differs from one organization to other organization. Understood? Now, let us go to learn what is process. Process means transformation. Take down a definition first, then we'll start. Process is a systematic. Process is a systematic and step by step way of doing things. Process is a systematic and step by step way of doing things. Step by step means you can say sequential. Systematic and sequential. Sequential means step by step way of doing things. For example, students, you have inputs, now you are making output. Just like that, are they been converted? No. They are taking multiple steps. So what are those multiple steps? So first of all, let me explain. We are going to learn a concept on management process. What is this management process? How it starts? The first and foremost step of management process starts with something called as forecasting. Remember this concept well, students. This makes your subject very easy. Forecasting. Assume that you want to start a business. What is the first step you do? Forecast. Forecasting is the first step in your management process. Some of them, they combine forecasting and planning. I'll come back to it. But first of all, what do you mean by forecasting? Predicting something well in advance. Predicting something well in advance. You want to start a business, you'll just start like that. First of all, you should have some ideas. Forecasting is predictions, guessing something well in advance. So you can write down a short word there. Predicting something well in advance is forecasting. Okay, you forecasted. What next? The next step is planning. What is planning, students? Many times we'll be talking about this word in our subject. Simply 5 W's and 1 H. What are 5 W's and 1 H? What, where, when, why, who, and how. Or simply, planning is a process of looking ahead. Planning is a process of looking ahead of you. Or planning is a process of trapping the future. You are trying to trap the future. So planning can be defined in 3 ways. Planning is equal to 5 W's and 1 H. Process of looking ahead. Process of trapping the future. Anything you write. Okay? Okay. Now see, students. Most of these books, they say forecasting and planning, both of them, they deal with futuristic activity only. Right? Can we combine? Yes, you can. Because both of them, they share the same meaning. Then why did I write it separately? Because forecasting is in general sense. Forecasting, when I say, is in general. But when I say planning, it is becoming more specific. Funneling down, you say, from a broader perspective, you are going ahead with narrow perspective. That is specific. General, you may get many ideas, but all ideas are coming into reality? No. So the concept of planning, when you are trying to do, you are trying to filter, and finally you are going to narrow down. Once the planning process is done, once you got an idea of what business to start, then what will happen? Here, what, where, when, why, who, and how. All these are the steps which helps us to do the proper planning. Okay, planning is done. What next, students? What is the next step? What is organizing, I said? What is organizing? Just now we have learnt pooling up of 2 or more resources. What are resources again? What are resources? What are resources? M's of management. Are you catching now? Slowly, we are going to the depth. So, organizing is a process of pooling the resources. What are resources? M's of management. Okay, those are required to start your business, so you pulled up. What next? There is one more function called staffing. What do you mean by that, students? Recruiting the manpower. Here also, these two can be combined. Why? Why these two can be combined? Can you tell me? Anyone? Organizing also pulling up of resources only. Staffing also is dealing with resource only. Then why are they separated out? Good. Excellent. Organizing is in general sense, pulling up of all resources. But when I refer to staffing, we are referring to specific resource. We are narrowing down. Why staffing is taken as a separate function? I told you just now. They are the resource with life, more complicated resource. So those have to be handled with extra care. In the spelling itself, manpower is regarded as a gem. So that is the importance. Okay, you got all the resources required for your company. You have recruited people also. What next will you do? What will you do next? Coordinating, which is also called as a linking function. What do you link? You have all these M's, no? Which person will use what machinery, what resource, who will report to whom? All that linkages you do among these M's. What are M's now? Resources. Okay, coordinating is done. What next you do, students? There is something called as guiding or directing. Guiding or directing. What do you do as a part of directing and guiding? What I am doing now, I am guiding you. Right? Because The moment you have brought all the resources and all, you need to give the guidelines to get executed. They need to start working now, which is called as a guiding function or directing function. Students, I am directing you now, no? To guide you or to direct you, I need 4 elements. What are they? What is required for me to guide you and direct you? First of all, I should have good communication skills. Second, I should have good leadership skills, good leading skills. Then I should have good motivation skills, motivation. And finally, when you are working, I should see what people are doing, supervision. What are the 4 elements of directing now? Communication, leadership, motivation, supervision. These 4 things are required to make sure that people are doing it in right manner. Okay, finish. What is the last step, students? Any guesses? Controlling. This word is very, very important. Of course, all other also, but more specifically, let me tell you, in our subject of strategic management, very often we will be talking about planning and controlling. This meaning you should, right? And remember, whatever you are doing now, it is for 4 groups learning. Okay. Of course, first group method we don't bother. Second group and second group anyhow you are there. 2 more groups, this backup will be helpful for you. Terminology you need to get used to it. Then I said planning is a process of looking ahead. What is controlling? Is the process of looking back. First of all, what is, okay, hold on. First of all, tell me what is controlling, why controlling, then we'll go. I'll make you to define controlling on your own. Yeah. First of all, let us start. Why do we need to have a control system at all? What is a control system? Okay, first of all, tell me that. What is a control system? A system to check and cross check. It is like a feedback system. Control is what? A feedback system. Why do you need to have a control system at all? Because people have expectations. What are expectations? How do you define expectations? What you want the things to be. What are expectations? What you want the things to be are expectations. If you don't have expectations, there is no need of control system at all. Why are you having a control system now? Just to make sure that your expectations are matching with what? Matching with actuals. When I said expectations are what you want the things to be, then what are actuals? Actuals are the reality. Whatever is happening now is actuals. But you know, students, very interesting. Expectations minus actuals will always lead to problems. Can you define what is a problem now? With this meaning, problems are the differences between expectations and actuals. What are problems now? Between expectations and actuals. What we'll do is, same concept, maybe I'll again repeat, remember, I'll ask you to define what is strategic gap. Okay? How the strategic gap comes? Strategic gap, the gap which exists between your expectations and actuals. The difference between your expectations and actual, called as strategic gap. That's all. If you know this concept well, by default, internally the concepts will come. That is what I wanted you to learn. So students, honestly, I'm telling you, I can cover this in 5 classes, 5 hours. No, here we have a lot of time and we want to crack not 20, 30. We want to have minimum target 45. 50 though I just cannot. Even if I write, as I said, as an examiner, even if I write, they say 75 and above, if you get, it's okay. So 45 tak to I can take you, right? That is something commendable, because 40 is more than enough for us to get through both papers, but 45, I think somewhere will be in the top. Okay, anyway, first of all, let me tell you how expectations minus actuals is a problem. Just now I was talking about the marks, no? We expected that we'll get 45, but we got 15. Expectations are 45, actuals are 15. Don't you think it's a problem? Yes. Let me reverse. You expected only 15, but you got 45. Scenario 2. Expectations are less than actuals, isn't it? In earlier case, expectations were greater. Here, expectations were lesser. Both of them means deviation only, and both of them will lead to problem only. But she is smiling. She says, sir, I expected only 15. When I get 45, what problem? It's not a problem for you, but it's a problem in the system. Fellow wrote only 1 answers, but he has got pass marks. Can it happen? You doubt on the system. There's some problem in the system. But one thing is for sure, expectations minus actuals will always lead to problem. Then what we do generally as a CMA or a strategist, simply your job is to just see how beautifully you can answer this. First of all, let me clear this mess. What do you do? What is this symbol now? Equals to. Can you define what is controlling now with this meaning? Controlling the process of equalizing what? That's it. Can you define again? Controlling is a process of equalizing your expectations and actuals. Simple. And remember, last unit May, I'll ask you, that day I don't want this explanation to happen again. If I ask you what is strategic control, blindly you should, even if I wake up in the midnight, you should say, it is just the process of equalizing your expectations and actuals. Okay, out of curiosity, why are you controlling at all? Because you don't want that problem to happen. Expectations minus actuals is always a problem. To avoid that problem, you want to say no to problem. Then what you should do? You should equalize. How do you do that? How do you equalize? There should be some strategy. There should be some strategy. As of now, assume that there's a strategy. What is strategy? Again, I have to dissect and make that answer from you, which will take time now, slowly. Okay. Students, there is one more element which is very, very important. Third element for our discussion now, which is in the center, which is present in all these elements, which is like a salt in a hot dish and sugar in a sweet dish. Any guesses what is it? Okay, I'll give a small clue. Starts with D. Not able to? Decision? Wonderful. What is a decision making? What is a decision? Decision is a judgment. Decision making. This word is important. Make a note of it. Decision making is a process Decision making is a process of choosing. Decision making is a process of choosing the best alternative. Decision making is a process of choosing the best alternative among pool of alternatives. Among the pool of alternatives. Can you define what is decision making? It's a process of choosing one option among many options. That process is called as decision making. Students, these three remaining concepts is in a flow you are learning, but it will be a worst crime if you don't know these three concepts: planning, controlling, decision making. This three, though, by default, I don't mind explaining it 100 times, but three meanings you should. Let me talk about decision making. There's a person called Chester I. Bernard. Name, if you remember, it's okay, otherwise forget about it. This person said, whatever a manager does from morning to evening, that is dawn to dusk, it is just the process of decision making only. In the beginning, I said, Peter Drucker said management is all about decision making. Why did they say that? Forget about a manager. What you do in your life from morning to evening is just the process of decision making only. How? Morning when you woke up, when the alarm has rang at 7 o'clock? No, 7 o'clock you were here. 6 o'clock. First decision. Should I wake up or sleep for some more time? First decision. Unfortunately, you woke up and you came to the institute. Should I get into third floor or spend my time in the parking? Unfortunately, you have come to third floor. Should I get into the class or not? Unfortunately, you are in the class. Again a decision. Should I listen or pose as if I am listening? Unfortunately, you are listening. Again a decision. Should I listen and forget or should I remember it? What is happening, students? Every act of ours is involving a choice making among many options. Now, can you define with your understanding what is the decision making? It's a process. One more interesting thing. Whenever you are referring to any answer in management, the last word ing, planning, organizing, staffing, the sentence should always start with it is a process. Okay? Okay. Now you tell me what is decision making. It's a process of choosing the best option among the various options. Or pool. Pool means many options. That process we are calling it as decision. Why is it in the center? If you want to forecast, you are choosing one option among many. Planning, you have many plans, but you are choosing one. Organizing, there are many options, you are choosing one option. Whatever you are doing, every element of management process may 50% of it involves decision making only. That is the reason I said it is like a salt in a salt dish and sugar in a sweet dish. Have you understood? Friends, one more question. Why did I draw this process in a circular manner? Is there any logic? What is process? I said it's a systematic, means in an orderly, sequential, step by step. So what are the step by step? Forecasting, planning, organizing, these are all the various steps involved in it. So to transform, to convert from one form to the other form, inputs to output, it is taking so many steps. And why is it in a wheel manner? Because it is a continuous. For example, it is like a wheel to your vehicle. If your vehicle is like your organization, if your organization wants to go further, the wheels have to rotate. So this wheel also has to rotate to take your organization further. Otherwise, the moment it stops, your company also will stop. Okay, I have done with forecasting, planning, organizing, I have come to controlling. What next? Replanning, reorganizing will come. So they have to go in a chronological order, step by step, to make your organization to run healthy. Okay. Second important thing. Each element in this process is interdependent and interrelated with each other. What does it mean? If planning is missing, can you do other? If controlling is missing, can you do another? No. Every element is important and every element has some link with other element. Even if one is missing, the total will miss. The impact could be seen in everything. The third important aspect, decision making is the center of all these things. What you do, write 3 points here for management. Note, management process is a continuous process. Management process is a continuous process. Second, each element in management process, is interdependent and interrelated with each other. Each element in management process is interdependent and interrelated with each other. Third, decision making is the major element in the management process. Done? Okay. Now what we'll do, students, this concept again will get repeated in our second unit also. Listen carefully. We'll cover it in the basics only. There, we'll just go ahead a bit fast. When I said business management, what do we do in business? We get resources, inputs, we transform them and make output. That is what is our business management all about. Complete business now is surrounded by something called as environment. This environment can be of two types. This is one unit for us, 2 units. Unit 2 and 3. What are they? Internal environment, external environment. Business is surrounded by internal, external. Very simple. See, today you have become an expert in this subject. Slowly now you are on the track. It means that for you teaching is not a great deal now, because already you know the basics, slowly you are catching up. Okay, now you see. First of all, define what is internal environment in your own style. Okay, first let me make an attempt, then you try. Immediate surrounding of your business is called as internal environment. Technically, immediate periphery of business organization. Periphery is surrounding is one and the same. So whichever you feel convenient, you can say. What is internal environment? Immediate surrounding of your business organization. We call it as internal. Write down. Immediate periphery of your business organization or immediate surrounding of your business organization. Students, can I call it as micro environment? Yes. Why? Why you don't know? Okay, then I'll tell you. Here, immediate surrounding for your business organization. Any problem here will affect only your business only. So the scope of it is confined only to a small level. Small level in the sense your business only. We use a word called micro. Okay? Micro. Or can I say specific? Yes. Because specifically it is troubling only your business, internal environment. Can you tell me what are the elements of micro environment? What would be the, what affects your business generally? Okay. Your customers, your suppliers. Who creates problems for your business? Who creates problems? Competitors. Suppliers I already have written, customers I have written. The culture, your company policies, they also create problem, right? Your culture, your policies, your owners, stakeholders, all these are the guys who are constantly creating a pressure on your business. If at all, if there is a problem, who will get affected? Your business only. So, internal environmental factors or internal environmental forces include customers, suppliers, competitors, and all policies, your culture, stakeholders. These are all the elements. Okay. They are called as micro. External, obviously you call it as macro. Can I call general? What are the elements? Here, see, the elements include, you can either remember a word called pestle या फिर split, whichever. Only rearrangement of words is that. Instead of pestle and split, only the rearrangement of words. The acronym social, political, economical, ecological, legal, technology. Social, political, legal, economical. Yeah. Hope all are covered. S, L. Yeah. What do you mean by this? Let us see. The external environmental forces are general forces. Social factor. Today is what? Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. And day after tomorrow is Friday. Fellows will have a sentiments. Tuesday we don't give money. Wednesday we don't take money. Today is Amavasya, nobody will take, nobody will give. Wonderful. If everyone decides one day and everybody decides that will not spend on a day, then I have to pull down my shutter on that day. Don't you think that there will be an impact on the business? Yes. And this impact is not only for one business. It is for everyone. General force, macro environmental force. Earlier it was KCR. He had his own manifesto, political manifesto. Now it is Revanth. Again he will have his own manifesto. So a state like Telangana, when the political influence is there, for some businesses it will be supportive, the other businesses it will be opposite. Somebody supports farmers, somebody supports IT sector. The concept of political impact will be there on the business. Either you get support or don't get a support, but still it will hamper the political aspect. Frequent changes in politics, frequent elections, that will create a lot of problem. Economical factors, inflation, recession. When you were quite young, you would have heard about demonetization. All of the sudden Modi said, no 500, no 1000. So, don't you think that that will have an impact on the business? Yes. Ecological factor. High rain also is problem, no rain also is a problem. You would have seen how Uttarakhand, Chennai and all, it flooded and every business was in a doldrum. Ecological factors, tsunamis, earthquakes, pandemics. Corona, best example for ecological factor. It will affect every business. Ecological. Legal, new laws comes in. That also will affect a business. Technological factor, technology advances and technological obsolescences. What are obsolescences? Technology becoming outdated. Both factors are again a problem. New technology, because you have to invest, customer need to know about the technology, is a problem. Technological obsolescences. The beauty of technology is today it is getting launched. The moment it get launched, its life starts ending. Why? The new fellow will come in, new technology will come and it will make the existing one getting outdated. Technological obsolescences. But one thing you should understand, these pestle forces are general forces. Macro means it will trouble everyone, including you. Internal forces will trouble only your company, but not right. Okay, students, today's class, I think by and large fairly good enough. We'll stop here for today. We'll just end up with only one note. Tomorrow's class will just start with what is a strategy, how the strategy has started. Then tomorrow mostly we'll spend on strategy, and if possible I'll start with the definition of the word strategic management. Okay, I'm going very slow, no doubt, because first 2-3 sessions it will take time, and after that you don't worry, we can just fine tune and we can basics if they are through with. If I say goal, resource today, environment today, process, input, you are in a situation now to explain. That is what is required. After that, the job becomes easy. Okay? Okay. First of all, let us end up the session with only 2 words. Management is all about conversion of inputs to output. Who does it? There's a person called managers. Can you define who are managers? Managers are the persons who manage resources successfully, risk systematically. You can write with any word. Who says that you don't know? Everybody knows everything. Manager are the person who manage resources. What are resources? M's of management. Risk systematically, successfully. They are called as managers. How do they manage? They need to have strategy. Tomorrow I'll teach you this concept. But finally, one more interesting word. To convert input to output, is it as simple as what I have drawn on the board? No. It requires 2 things. What are those? It requires smartness and cash. When I say smartness, it doesn't talk about beauty. You need not to be like Hrithik Roshan or Aishwarya Rai to convert inputs to outputs. You need to be clever. No, specific. You need to be specific. You need to be measurable. Whatever you are doing, there should be certain measuring concept to it. Attainable. It should be realistic. It's not that, if I want to test your confidence level, I should not ask you to jump from this 3rd floor and show your confidence. It should be realistic, resourceful. Then it should be tactful. Smartness refers to this acronym. Being tactful, timely, whatever you are doing, it should be well in. Whatever preparation you are doing, it should be before your exams, but not after. It can be after exams, but it will be for next attempt, right? So smartness here talks about being specific. Why are you doing this coaching? It is specific measure. General is you can study on your own. Specific, it should be to the things, to the point. Measurable, whatever you are doing. 1 hour we wasted. What is the net learning out of it? Attainable, they should be realistic. They should be tactful. Okay. Next one, cash. What is cash? It's not money. Don't think that I don't know spelling. I know. It is KSH, cash. Any guesses? This is very interesting. knowledge, wonderful, skills, habit. What is knowledge? Let me see your knowledge on this word knowledge. What is knowledge? I have a very bad habit of getting meaning out of it. What I'll do, I'll remove this word L. I'll write here. Split them into two parts. Knowledge is a process of knowing something till the edge. What is it? It's a process of exploring. You are trying to find out something from the beginning till the end. It's just the process of exploring. But she's asking, sir, what did you do with L then? L is leading to learning. When you are exploring, it is leading to learning, which is a continuous process, lifelong process. But he is asking, why learning? Again, I'll split them into two parts. Because this L here is a link for earning. Why are you learning? If you want to earn, you have to learn. It's a leverage or link for your earning. If you don't learn, you will not earn money, marks, whatever you talk. Attitude is a general style behavior which we don't talk. Skills also we don't talk. Means in the subject. So I'm not going in depth. Habit is a general style of interacting with the world. Is a habit. Knowledge management, because this again one component in our subject I'll be referring to. So that's the reason I thought I'll just talk about knowledge only. But this is a general thing which you need to know. Smartness and cash. Understood? So these two words again and again we'll be talking. So I think we'll stop here for today. Okay, a quick recall of what we have done, then we'll end up. And tomorrow when we are starting again, just have a glance. I don't expect, I know your journey starts at 7:30 and ends up at 7:30. I can understand. What is required, students? My journey, as I said, is 20 days. 20 hours without missing. If you enter into the class, every day minimum 2 marks is the deal. Minimum 2 marks. 20 twos are 40. 40 marks is complimentary and the deal is very fair. Have your presence of mind. Don't miss out anything. Whichever I say, note down, note down. And if you don't pass, it is my problem, it is not your problem. Only listening is your problem. Listen, rehearse. How to get that results is my job. Now when I can get definitions out of you, don't you think that I can get marks also from you? 100%. Only support I expect from you is daily attendance. Sometimes it could be physical attendance also. So, you know, I always say, even if there's one student or half student in the class I teach. What do you mean by half student? Physically present but mentally not. Don't worry, your CA students will never have that. Because the best thing of general class and CA students is, the moment the students look at their watch, they are general students. Specific students, CA students, they never care for time. So whether it is 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, same class, same room, we started our sessions at 5 o'clock also. Same room, same session, students were there till late night also. That is the seriousness. 100% take it for granted, students. I should not tell you in advance, otherwise you will get overconfidence. Everyone who attends this 40 classes, you will come back next year and then we'll discuss. That's all. Okay? Okay then, don't miss out any session. As I said, I'll not trouble you for a long time. Only this 20